Good afternoon, Ethos members, and welcome to the end of week 2 of the COVID quarantine. Rob asked me to come again and share with you by video an article that I wrote and published on my LinkedIn page. And so I want to do that now. So forgive me in advance for maybe not having eye contact, but I'm going to be reading from my screen as I go along. The article is about quarantine versus incubation. And I begin by defining incubation. And here's how I defined it: the art of maintaining controlled environmental conditions for the purpose of favoring growth or development of your ideas, the next phase of your personal or professional life, and your spirit. I changed the last part of that definition because I reimagined what you could be growing and developing in this season of incubation. When I woke up this morning, I found that my windows were wide open. I love sleeping like that. And I was intoxicated by the cozy sight of a cloudy day and the melodic sounds of the rain outside. These were the days that I always adored. However, as a busy mother of 6, I often got up on days like this and continued with my daily routine. That routine was to keep busy, serve, and then keep busy some more. Today, I did something different. I took some time to think about how my children and I made it through a recent difficult time in our life. You see, when the dynamics of my family changed recently, it was the worst thing that happened to us until I changed my perspective and started to view this time as an incubation period. While in incubation, my sons created a business. Initially, I thought the pursuit of the idea would just keep them occupied, during a difficult time. I thought the novelty of it would pass as they felt better about the circumstances of our family, but the idea did not pass. The idea grew. The pain of our family separation mixed with the fuel of uncertainty about their future grew businessmen. God placed so many people in their lives that helped them to give birth to a whole company, Andy Factory. What started out as isolation, they changed into incubation. So now it seems the whole world has caught up, albeit involuntarily, to go into incubation also. How are you using this time? When you emerge from the incubator, what will you have created? What ideas have you been pregnant with yet failed to give birth to? I wrote a book called Who Told You That You Were Naked? In that book, I guide the reader through several exercises designed to get their clothes back on. One of those exercises is to eat more pies. Yes, you heard me right. Eat more pies. Pies is a tool that I learned as I was walking through a very painful and disgusting separation and eventual divorce. The acronym means physical, intellectual, emotional, and spiritual. The man who coined the phrase, Dr. Joe Beam, uses it to help wounded people wounded by betrayal especially, to focus on themselves. I think it's a great tool for us to all use right now. Let's figure out how to eat more pie. Physical development at this time not only includes your physical health and well-being, but also your environment. For those of you who are home educating by order of the COVID-19 virus, I urge you to take time over the next few days to organize your physical space. Prepare yourself for the organized, productive environment that will incubate continued learning in your children. I urge you to add physical activity into your and your children's daily routine, not just a leisurely stroll either. Go hard. We will one day emerge from this quarantine. And what do you want? Do you want to emerge physically fit and closer to a healthier and attractive physical temple? Well, that's what will happen if you turn this into an incubation period. Intellectually, many of us are growing new brain cells just by the challenge created by going over this fourth grade word. Hint, hint, Melanie Joel. But we are also being challenged on time management, And we're maintaining employment during this crisis. If you have the bandwidth to do it, sit down and ask yourself, where do you want to go intellectually? This is a good time to lay the foundation for earning that first or second degree. It's a great time to map out a strategy to start reading again, reading for pleasure. It is also an absolutely fantastic time for parents of high schoolers, especially, to shift gears, design a schedule so that your children can get on Khan Academy and do some studying for the PSAT and SAT examinations. Can you imagine what will happen to their score if they actually stick to some dedicated study time? I can smell the success already. What businesses can you grow during this time? We all of us have that entrepreneurial spirit inside of us. There's an idea, there's a service or product that's inside of you that time and fear never ever allowed you to bring to the people. What is that idea? The playing field is now even. Your competition is hibernating. They are not incubating, they're hibernating. Get going on that idea. You would be amazed to see what I personally have done in this short time to incubate my own brand. I have surprised even myself. Emotionally, we all could stand to take a breath and make sure that we stay on point here. When this crisis began, I'll be honest, I felt very lonely because of my recent divorce. The loneliness was compounded as I began to see families outside walking, and as my friends began to call less because they retreated inward to be with their own husbands and children. But again, a change of perspective meant the world to me. By working on my P, I, and my S portions, that E is coming right along. In the loneliness, I think about the life that I deserve and the life that I'm called to lead. I returned to journaling and channeled those thoughts into new content for my blog. I still have the emotions of loneliness, but in the spirit of incubation, I use those emotions as the fuel that will build my brand. Finally, my spirit has a ton of questions. What the heck is going on, God? That seems to be what I ask God every single time I see someone out here shopping with a mask and gloves on in the United States of America. Over the past year and a half, God and I have had lots of talks as I retreated to my knees in an effort to avoid the painful pruning that came into my home and into some of my friendships. He's answered me every time. Not all of the answers have been what I expected, and many have definitely not been what I wanted to hear. However, going to Him and seeking Him in my time of need and in this crisis produces a spirit of peace that can only be achieved when you have consulted the Father and know that you're walking in His purpose. So, what do you think? Can you change perspectives and view this time as incubation and not quarantine? I believe that if you do, your creativity, stability, purpose, and connectivity will increase by leaps and bounds. The news talks about the corona babies that will be born in 9 months. I'm looking for the corona businesses that will be born in 9 months. And congratulations, you are the pappy or the mama